But today, it's amazing. It's great that you and I are here talking about something exciting. Something that will leave the world positively world shocked. Something that the people around you, by the time it comes to actualization, those around you will begin to ask you, how did it work? How did it happen? So you're here this morning. I say congratulations to you. And together, we definitely do great things. Okay? So, welcome to everyone that are joining us this morning. And we want to share our invite link. Let us scroll up, share our invite link. Go ahead and invite our friends. Invite our prospects. Tell them to join us now on Telegram. Those persons that are yet to understand what this business entails. Those persons that are coming from afar. Those persons that are yet to have a better understanding of SWIFTtrip. This is the best time for you to invite them to the meeting. You don't need to stress yourself. Just share the invite link to them. Tell them to join us live now on Telegram. All right. So while we're doing that, let us quickly share the invite link and also invite the presence of the Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. We glorify your name. We say, be thou exalted. We thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you because we know today is going to be great. We thank you for all you've done for us. Thank you for, we know SWIFTtrip is a done deal. Thank you for making us identify an opportunity like this. Ancient of days, be thou glorified. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen and amen. Thank you once again. And without any further ado, I will quickly introduce myself for the benefit of those that are joining us for the very first time. And I am Favor Rinami Ayo, the international admin of SWIFTtrip, and also the personal assistant to the CEO, Honorable Richard Nadi. And it's a privilege to be here this morning to talk about SWIFTtrip, to talk about a global business. It's amazing. And the good thing is, if it's your first time of connecting with us, I want to assure you that you will leave here with a better understanding of what SWIFTtrip entails. So all you just need to do is to give us listening ears. Give us what? Listening ears, and you will understand all of this in what? Totality. Now, first and foremost, let us look at all of the things we'll be discussing this morning. And the very first one on our list is, we will be looking at what is the SWIFTtrip all about. We will also look at where we are as a company. Then we will look at how our customers are going to benefit from this business called SWIFTtrip. And then how you as a co-founder will benefit from this business. As we all know, you and I, as business tycoons that we are, we wouldn't want to go into a business that will not yield for us profit. Right? So, how do we benefit from this business as a co-founder? All of these we will be talking about. So let's look at the very first one, which is with a big question: what is SWIFTtrip? Now, we said that SWIFTtrip is a very simple business, especially if you are close to us. You will understand that this business is a very simple business. It's a business that every person can understand. Everybody can understand. Why? Because it is not something that is new to the people. We are simply coming to modify how this business should be done. And that brings us to the definition of SWIFTtrip. What is SWIFTtrip? SWIFTtrip is a global transportation, a global commerce service providing platform that is set to reshape how you and I travel and connect. And this business, this global business, is built on a decentralized platform which is very transparent, and it tells us that we are leveraging on the power of AI, sophisticated technology, like the AI, the machine learning. This Web 3.0 is a very transparent platform. It is a new era of the internet. Now, SWIFTtrip is coming to build mobility, a global mobility on the latest version of the internet, which is the Web 3.0, that is decentralized, that gives users, which is you and I, the enablement, the privilege to have access to whatever we are doing without the need or without the involvement of a third party. In a nutshell, it tells you that there is no middleman. You are the CEO. You are the co-owner of this business. Mobility business. Is it just mobility business? No. Commerce service providing business. Now, we are going to build something that is global. And this global transportation, it is set to make you and I decillion in dollars. Yes. It is going to make you and I decillion in dollars. And not just decillion. It's also coming to change how people see us, how people view us. Because in SWIFTtrip, you are not just coming to be a co-founder of a company. You are coming to own something that will reshape your life, that will redefine your life, that will redefine how businesses are done. That is what SWIFTtrip is coming to do. And looking at those that will identify with it now at this exciting phase. And I want to tell you that you think you've been doing online businesses, Sam, you've never done something like SWIFTtrip, because SWIFTtrip is different. SWIFTtrip is different. We are not telling you to come and double your money. We are not telling you to come and get triple of whatever you're coming in with. No, we are telling you to come, build a global business with us. That is what we are calling you for. And as we proceed, you will get a clearer understanding, a clearer picture of what we are showing to you. Now, let us look at the next slide, which shows us, or which tells us about the services we are rendering. It is very important for you who is coming in to a business to know the services they are rendering. Just like we have so many persons that are saying they've done online businesses before to them. And you ask them what are the services this company or those companies are rendering. You will begin to hear healthcare product, this, that. They are good. But then ask yourself, are these services in the reach of the masses? Can it get to the masses? Because if the masses can't afford the services or can't patronize the services you're rendering, then you are already kind of set for a failure. Because the services you're rendering needs to be consumed by the masses, need to be consumed by the customers. Now the question is it at the reach of these customers out there? If it's not, then sorry to tell you that business will not last. Now, that brings us to the services SWIFTtrip is rendering. Let's look at our core services that is going to make us financially buoyant, that is going to make us financially independent, that is going to make us a virgin trillionaire in dollars. What are those services? Now, we have 5 unique services. The likes of the aviation, the e-taxi, the e-commerce, the logistics, and the hospitality. Look at these services closely. From the first, second, third, fourth, and the 5th services, do you think there is any of the services that is short of patronage? Look at them. None is short of patronage. When we're talking about the aviation, look at how, look at the economy of the nations today. People are complaining there is no money. People are complaining that there is no money to do this, no money to do that. But does it affect the transportation industry? No, it doesn't. Why? Because people can't do without mobility. Without what? Mobility. The food we eat needs what? Mobility to be transported from whatever state, whatever country to the other country or state. Mobility. Like I said earlier on, people are complaining no money, but go to the airport, you will see these people. You'll see people booking flight for the next available flight. Yet there is no money in Nigeria or in the country. You see, it tells you that it is not short of patronage, and it is for everybody. It is not for selected persons. No. Is there anybody that don't patronize taxi? Everybody does. Is there anybody that does not buy and sell? Everybody does. So you can see that this is a business for the public. This is a business for the masses. When we're talking about aviation business, we are talking about we coming to own our airport. And if you can see the screen, we have companies that are already into the aviation business, of course. These companies you're seeing, like the Airpeace, the Arik you're seeing on the screen, we are not franchising with them. We are just showing to you that these are examples of companies that are into the aviation business. We are coming to own our own airport. That is the power of what? A system. Because what SWIFTtrip is building is what? A system, a global system at that. Because system differs. You can own a system that operates locally. And you can also own a system that operates globally. Now, SWIFTtrip is that global system. We are not saying that this business is coming to operate only in a particular country or a particular continent. No, it is a business that will operate in all continents. It's a business that in every nation you will hear about the business, SWIFTtrip. So you can see the examples of aviation businesses. Airpeace, Arik, ValueJet, name them. There are numerous out there. That is for the aviation business. Let's look at the other, which is the e-taxi. Now, it simply tells you that this mobility business we are dealing with, or we are talking about, has two phases in SWIFTtrip: the road transport and the air transport, of which we've already talked about the air transport. Now, we're looking at the road transport, which is not new to us. Every one of us will patronize either of this company, the Uber or Bolt. These are examples of the e-taxi business, electronic taxi. Uber, Bolt, InDrive, Enviable Transport. All of these are examples of what? The e-taxi business. Now, what does it tell you? It simply tells you that at wherever you are, you can book a ride without stressing yourself, without the need of you standing under the sun, without the need of you standing under the rain. With your device, you can book for a ride, and a driver will come pick you from where you are to what? Your destination. That is what you are building. Look at it, sir. Look at it, ma. Is this something you would not want to be part of? This is an opportunity that everyone listening to should capitalize on. Why? Because this is something that is going to change your life. Look at people that are co-founders of companies like the Uber, the Bolt. Do you think they can ever be poor? No. Why? Because they have identified with a system. There are people who have identified with a system that generations to come will not be able to consume the money that system is generating for them. Examples: we have the Awolowos, we have the Obasanjo. These are examples of people that saw a system and capitalized on it. And you who is here today, who is a co-founder of SWIFTtrip, why? Because those systems, what SWIFTtrip is going to generate for you and I, will be what? Massive. That is why we are sounding it now to everyone that cares to hear, to everyone that cares to what? Be part of the system. Come, let us build something massive. Let us build something that by the time the people see it, by the time it's now so glaring to them, they'll be like, oh, this is a massive business. That is what we are calling you to build. We are not building a business that is coming to stay for a few years. Then it will no longer be in existence. No. We are building a business that even when we are no longer in existence, when nature has called, the business will still be on, paying our children, our generations to come after us. That is the kind of business we are coming to build. That is why this is for everybody, and at the same time, it is not for everybody. Yes, it is for those that can see it. And if you cannot see it, sir, we can't help you see it. After all, there are people who missed out on all of these businesses I mentioned earlier on. The likes of the Uber. There are some persons that missed out on it when they were calling out. When the company was calling them to come co-own the business. But they did not join the business. Why? Because of one reason or the other. Because it does not make sense to them. Because they do not understand it. Because they feel it's a scam. And we shouldn't think scam started maybe in the 20s. In this 21st century, it has been in existence for a long time. Look at when Coca-Cola started. They told a man to be a co-founder in Coca-Cola. The man said no, they want to scam him. That's the same way so many persons are seeing SWIFTtrip now, saying it's a scam. Just give us few years from now, and you will know what you've just missed out on. That is why my prayer is that you shouldn't miss out on SWIFTtrip. Are there people that will miss out on it? Yes, definitely. But it shouldn't be you listening to us. It shouldn't be you that has listened to us. You shouldn't miss out on SWIFTtrip, because if you do, the regret is something you will not be able to deal with. So I've been able to show you the aviation, the e-taxi. We also have another service that we will be rendering, which is the e-commerce, which is the biggest of them all. When we talk about the e-commerce, this is a platform that you can buy and sell. You see this you're seeing on my screen now, this bicycle, this helmet, whatever you're seeing on my screen, with your device you can buy and sell without you going to the shop to procure any of these. At your convenience, wherever you are, your comfort zone, you just place for any of these things. And guess what? By the time you've placed for this, by the time you've purchased this other aspect, or you should know that another problem has been created. And what is that? How do you get this bicycle delivered to you? How do you get this helmet delivered to you, or the mobile phone? And that is where the logistics aspect comes in play. These two aspects work hand in hand. Of course, we know examples of logistics out there. The DHL, UPS, GIG. All of these are examples of the logistics platform. The e-commerce platform, we have the likes of Amazon, Jumia, eBay, Konga, Gigi. So you see that all of these services is what we have in one app. We are making things very easy for the people. We are not complicating anything. You can see in one app, you have the privilege to book your flight without logging into another app. In that same app, you can book for your what? Ride. You can also purchase your stuffs online. You can also get those things purchased, delivered to you. All of this in one app. Is that or no? In that same app, you can book for accommodation. This is the hospitality. That is why we say the services we are rendering are 5 unique services. When we're talking about hospitality, we are talking about hotels. And if you are being sincere to yourself, you will know that the hotel business or all of these services we've mentioned, they are services that are not short of patronage. They are not short of patronage. And what does that tell you? If your business is not short of patronage, what does it tell you? It simply tells you that the profit that awaits you in that business, it's something you cannot comprehend. Why? Because it's something that is not short of patronage. And that is why we say that we are building a system, a business that pays you even while you sleep. Amazing. Have you thought of it that you're sleeping and you're earning? The only thing that can give you that is a global system. Identify with one. And the one that is before you now is SWIFTtrip. You shouldn't joke with SWIFTtrip. Listen, so many persons have heard about SWIFTtrip. Some have joined. Some doubt us. And some will still join us in the nearest future. But then, I want to advise you, if you know that you will join this business in the future, my advice to you is please join now. Because by you joining now, you are doing, or you are coming together with us to pay the price. You're coming together to what? Do something that unsuccessful people will never want to attempt. Unsuccessful people want everything to be rosy. Unsuccessful people want to get it immediately, instantly. As it is hot. I believe we are all familiar with that statement. They want it immediately. They are not ready to build. That is what differentiates you and I from what those persons. Look at some persons out there roaming about. If you look at these people critically, if you look at where they are coming from, if you have the opportunity to look at their past life and some opportunities they get, you will know that they decided to be what they are unknowingly to them. Because whatever you want to be, you have the power, the decision. You have to decide to be that. Either knowingly or what? Unknowingly. Some of these people are people that saw opportunities. Some of these people are people that got informations. But then, because they do not understand it, because it does not make sense to them, they let that opportunity to pass them by. And look at them. You see, they'll start regretting. Now, you hear some of them say, oh, I had the opportunity to be an owner of one business that is thriving. I had the opportunity to invest in this, to invest in that, to be part of this. But then, because of one thing or the other, they missed out on it. And I want to tell you, that is the same way so many persons will also miss out on SWIFTtrip. I tell you for free, so many persons will miss out on SWIFTtrip because everybody cannot be part of SWIFTtrip. Everybody cannot be part of SWIFTtrip. That is why I said earlier on, my prayer is that you who is listening to me shouldn't miss out on this. And it does not matter how knowledgeable you are. It does not matter how educative you are. The thing is, if you cannot see it, you cannot help you see it. There are so many persons that are very educative, but they saw opportunities and they missed out on it. A case study or a good example of that is Peter Obi, who said, he has said it several times, that he missed out on being a co-owner of Zoom. Why? Because it does not make sense to him. He's regretting it despite the fact that he has money, he is wealthy, but he regrets it. You shouldn't miss out on SWIFTtrip. Like I said, if you do, you will never forgive yourself. You will never forget the name SWIFTtrip. So these are the 5 services you are coming to own in one app. And you can see that these are services that, like I say, does not lack patronage. Now, to some of us that are joining us for the very first time, you're now asking yourself, has this business gone live? Is this business in operation? Can I patronize this business? And the answer to that, your question, is no. SWIFTtrip is yet to launch business. Why is that? Because we are at the vision phase. We are at a very important phase. We are at the building phase. This is a very important phase. And that is why I say you are lucky to hear of this business now that is at the vision phase. Let us do what so many persons wouldn't want to do. Let us build. Why others are what? Playing. Let us feel the pain now. Let us feel the pain while they are playing. Let us invest while they are lavishing their money, while they are spending their money in clubs or in whatever thing they are spending their money on. Then time will tell. Because whatever you sow is what you will reap. You cannot sow laziness and reap what? Should I say success? No. They don't work hand in hand. That's the power of nature. And if you know something about seed sowing, you will know that by the time you sow, that little you sow, it's not that little you will get. If you plant a seed of corn, or let's say 2 seed of corn, are you going to harvest 2 seed of corn? No, you will get it what? In manifold. The harvest will be massive. Today you're putting little in SWIFTtrip. Do you think is that little you will go harvest tomorrow? No. What you will harvest when that time comes. Will that time come? Yes, it will. When you're harvesting, those persons that had the opportunities, those persons that were playing, those persons that were lavishing their money, those persons that were insulting you, they will begin to see the reward of what you did. And then they will be the one regretting. They had the opportunity, but they missed out on it. So, you listening to us today, we are calling you, come, let us do what unsuccessful people won't do. Let us build. Now that this business is at its idea phase. Now that it's at the vision phase. It's still cheap. Let us build this business. Let's look at the next slide. How much is it going to cost you to be a co-founder of this business? You can see SWIFTtrip is calling you to come together. Let us find this business. Let us co-found the business. Now, how much is it going to cost you to be a co-founder of this business? It's something you want to know. The price is $250, approximately 385,500 naira. That is what is going to cost you. And if you're being sincere to yourself, you will know that this is very cheap. It is what? Super cheap. Looking at the services you are coming to own. Can you own a hotel business for 335,500 naira? No. But SWIFTtrip is not calling you to just come own a hotel business for $250, but also an aviation business, also a commerce business, an e-taxi business, a logistic business, and many other services that will be added to SWIFTtrip. That's what we are calling you to come co-own. For what? Little as $250. You can see that it is really an opportunity. Now, the truth is that this thing you're getting at a very cheap rate, at a very affordable rate today. Guess what? You're getting it now because we are yet to launch the business. There are people who will get it by the time we've launched the business. This something you're getting for $250 will be sold for the minimum of what? $200,000, approximately 200 million naira. That is the benefit of what you and I will reap, or will benefit. That's what will benefit from what? Being part of the early birds, being part of those that are building this. That is what we benefit. I know you don't have that 200 million naira. You don't have it. Why don't you look for 385,500 and be part of this global business? At least you can look for this even if you don't have it. But imagine you're hearing it at 200 million when it's selling for 200 million. Where do you want to go borrow 200 million from? That is why this year will say, even if it means that your child not going to school, Oga, sir, ma, let that child stay at home. Use the school fees to purchase a global business, a global system for that child. The child might say, oh, daddy, I don't like what you did now. The child is saying that because he or she does not understand. In the nearest future, you will see that that child will be proud of the decision you're making today, or you've taken today. Whatever legal means you want to get the money, please do. And I assure you that if you are serious with this business, especially at this phase, you will get that money. There's a means for you to get the money and pay back. Yes. So all you just need to do, understand the business, understand what this business is coming to do. Then you will see the opportunity that awaits you both now and in the future. So with $250, you can be an owner of a global business, a global system, of which this $250 you're paying, $150 is the project fee, while $100 is used for the advertisement fee. Yes, I will explain that to us as we move ahead. So you can see $150 project fee, and it's not something you can come and say, okay, Sam, I don't want to advertise SWIFTtrip. I don't want to advertise SWIFTtrip, which that's where the $100 goes to. So I don't want to advertise SWIFTtrip. Can I just pay my $150 and be a global and be a co-founder of this business? No, you can't. It's not something you will negotiate. It's not something you will price. The slot is going for $250, and $250 it is. And your global profit share is what? 0.0 in 5 places, 125%. That is what you own after paying your $250 to the company. Now, this ownership percent helps you, or you earn according to this ownership percentage from every transaction that will happen in the future, from the aviation, the e-taxi, the e-commerce, the logistics, the hospitality, and every other services that will be added to SWIFTtrip. You earn according to your ownership percentage. So, to those of us that are new here, you're hearing $250 today, and there's a promo which this $250, the company is giving it out to the non-co-founder and also the co-founder who want to buy multiple units for what? $50. So this promo ends tomorrow. Right? Today is 25th, right? 24th. It ends on the 25th of September. So you have now and tomorrow to buy this at the rate of $50. Amazing. It's for you to capitalize on this promo and let us do great thing by being part of this global business. For the co-founders, the opportunity extends till month end, of which you can buy extra unit, as many as you want. Okay. So that being said, let's quickly look at the next slide, which is asking us, when will SWIFTtrip go live? Yes, that's the question that one or two persons might be asking. themselves, okay, when will this business go live, since we are yet to launch this business? And just like it is written on the screen, we say SWIFTtrip profit ownership is what? 5% in volume. 5% in volume. And we said the business launch is at the sales of 3% ownership. Yes, the company is giving 5% to the public to be consumed. Yes. Now, the company is also saying that we don't need to consume this entire 5% before we launch the business. No. But rather, if we can consume 3% of this 5%, we will launch the business. It is a milestone that has been set. You're asking, okay, must we sell this 5% before we launch the business? No. The company said by the time we sell 3% of this 5%, we will launch the business. And there are units, there are number of units embedded in this 3%. Because if you read down, you will see where it stated that thus the launch of SWIFTtrip is embedded in a milestone of 2,400,000 sold units of SWIFTtrip ownership. How is that? Let us quickly look at this. This explains it better for us. Minimum volume to sell is what? 3%. Just like I told us. The company is not saying we have to exhaust the 5% before we launch the business. No. 3%. If 3% is sold out, then we'll launch the business. So we simply bring down 3%, multiply, or rather, divided by your ownership percentage. I believe you know your ownership percentage. Where I said, if you come with $250, you own 0.0 in 5 places, 125. That is your ownership percentage. So simply do 3 divided by 0.0 in 6 places, 125. What are you going to get? 2,400,000 node units. Now, it simply tells us for us to launch this business, we need to consume 2,400,000 node units. I believe that's clear enough. So, and to every one of us that are co-founders of this business, check your app. You can see the countdown. For every person that joins the meeting, that joins the business, there is an addition to the available unit in SWIFTtrip. So you and I that are co-founders of the business, we can monitor this. When are we launching this business? So instead of you coming to us, okay, when is the company launching the business? Go check your app. It's a milestone that by the time we attain, every one of us know. Every one of us know that we've attained that milestone, or we've gotten to that milestone, then the business will be launched. So you and I know when this business will be launched. Okay. So that being said, let's look at the next slide, which shows us indeed that is a global business, because we were launching this business first off in Nigeria and in the United Kingdom before spreading globally, before launching business in other parts of the world. So first off, Nigeria and in the United Kingdom. You can see our certificate as well, the CSC certificate, the EFCC certificate, and also the United Kingdom certificate. You can see that the company has been registered in England and Wales. Okay, so congratulations to you. We say congratulations for identifying with a business like SWIFTtrip. And to you who is yet to identify, please do not sleep on the bicycle seat. Join us. Let us build something massive. All right. And I want to look at the next slide, which says what makes SWIFTtrip stand out from others. Yes. We have our uniqueness. We have something that makes us stand out. That by the time the people see us out there, they will what? Fly or run to SWIFTtrip. Some of us will be like, okay, you're rendering the same services as other companies, just like I've mentioned. We have other companies that are rendering the same services as SWIFTtrip. So I think, or you are thinking, that SWIFTtrip is, by the time SWIFTtrip launch the business, we will be competing with these people. Hello, sir, ma. We are not competing with anybody. We are not competing with anybody. Yes. Look at SWIFTtrip have something that makes it stand out, like a magnet that will attract the people. Yes. That's why when we say SWIFTtrip is well structured, please know that SWIFTtrip is what? world's strongest. We cannot spend all these years trying to sensitize the people, trying to create awareness just for us to launch the business and start competing with the people out there. No, that's unwise. We already have something on ground. And what is that? It is no other than the PYC. What does it stand for? Pay your customers. We are the first company globally in Nigeria and outside Nigeria to introduce the PYC concept. This is the concept that puts every customer on payroll, that anytime they patronize the company in Sama, they earn. You and I, as co-founders of this business, we are first-hand customers. Whenever we patronize the company, we earn. This thing we are earning is not bonus. No, it's money that we can withdraw. We can use it however we want. That is what we are doing. And to everyone who is here today, especially those that are joining us for the very first time, we are yet to understand, or we are not familiar with the word PYC. What we are familiar with is the KYC. I believe we all know KYC. Know your customers. SWIFTtrip is coming. I don't know if I should say to abolish the KYC policy, or rather, we are coming to modify that concept. Instead of the KYC, we are coming with a concept that will empower, that will enrich the customers. And what's that? The PYC. We've come to realize that these customers are important people. Just like I keep saying, whatever amount of money we are making as business owners, maybe I own a shop, I own a company, whatever money I'm making out from that, I am making that money, or I'm making that profit because people are patronizing me. So, knowing these people that are patronizing me is not enough. This is the time these people ought to be put on payroll that they earn from every patronage. So, SWIFTtrip is coming with that uniqueness. And that is going to make us stand out. So, because of our time, we won't be explaining this in detail. But just know that this pay your customer concept applies to all of our services. The e-taxi, the e-commerce, the aviation, the logistics, and the hospitality and every other services that will be added to SWIFTtrip. Okay? Now, another mighty question is, who is the brain behind this amazing business? Who is the brain behind this awesome business? You want to know. Because the business does not look like a business that can sprout from Nigeria. The business does just look like an African business. And some of us, especially those that are connected for the very first time, will begin to think, okay, this can only be a white man business. All right? We will look at that and see if truly it's a white man business. So, who is the brain behind SWIFTtrip? You can see on the screen. Even from the name, Nadi. You can see, and you can see from the flag that this person is in Nigeria. In person of who? Honorable Richard Nadi, the young, vibrant, and pragmatic CEO. The lionic man. The man that has availed himself for this great project, for this great word, business. He is no other than Honorable Richard Nadi. He is the CEO. He is the Honorable of SWIFTtrip, and he is the founder and the CEO of this amazing business in Nigeria. And guess what state? From Enugu State. Igbo Kwenu. For those of us that are Igbo. This is coming from where? Our own ground, Nigeria. That has been written of that something good cannot come out of this country. You can see that this country is coming up with a business that is set to employ the entire citizens of every nation. Yes. A Nigerian CEO, a Nigerian is coming with a global business. Now, what does that tell you? It tells you that your idea does not matter where it's coming from, whether Nigerian or not Nigerian. Think it. If you can think it, you can become it. You can what? Live in it. It does not matter. The personality. You will not say, okay, this kind of ideas are only meant for the white. This kind of ideas are only meant for the Indians. It is meant for everybody. You know this and know the truth. It is meant for everybody. And we are happy that we can see that something massive is coming from Nigeria. Now, if something this massive can come from Nigeria, Sama, I will not tell you that you can do something that is bigger, that is massive than SWIFTtrip. All you just need to do is to think it. Think it, and you will future in it. All right, so you can see the CEO, like I said, Honorable Richard Anadi. He is the founder and the CEO of SWIFTtrip. And we say thank you very much, sir, for all you do for SWIFTtrip. We, the co-founders of SWIFTtrip, will love you so much, and your wisdom will never run dry. Everything needed to make this business a reality will be bestowed upon you. The resources, the finance, the people, name it. God will definitely bring them to your way. And when you see them, you will be able to identify them. Amen and amen. All right, so let us look at the next slide, which is very important, especially those of us that are connecting. I want to know, how do I earn from this business? How do I earn from this business? Because you want to know, like, you're already loving the business. You want to know what is in it for you. Now, this slide is for you. There are two ways you can earn in SWIFTtrip. First off, we have how you earn in the future, and also how you earn in the now. But then, let us start with how you earn in the future. So let us see ourselves in the future. That SWIFTtrip has launched business, and a transaction took place. Because in SWIFTtrip, you're not earning annually, you're not earning monthly. You're earning per transaction from every of our services. Yes. That is why we say SWIFTtrip is going to make you a decillionaire, a virgin trillionaire in dollars. Just give us few years. Few years, you will see that happening. It's a system, a global system. You're sleeping in Nigeria, transaction is happening in other parts of the world. As transaction is happening, you who is sleeping in Nigeria, you're earning. So you are earning per transaction. Now, how you earn in the future? A transaction took place in Nigeria, and for those of us that are in the United States, we will also carry you along. We will also assume that a transaction took place there in the United States, and the transaction that took place, please note that there is no fixed price of any ride. Okay? This ride will be charged depending on the distance covered. Okay, so there is no fixed amount of price. Okay, from year to year is this amount. No, it is only it will be determined by what? The distance, the kilometer covered. Okay, so we are just analyzing. We are saying 8,000 naira is what the ride cost in Nigeria, or $10 in the United States. Now, if you can see my screen, it's written e-taxi per trip profit evaluation. How do you calculate that? You simply do 8,000 naira multiply by your ownership percentage. 8,000 naira multiplied by 0.0 in 5 places, 125%. What will you get if you do that? You will get 0.0 in 3 places, 1 kobo. Chikina. 0.0 in 3 places, 1 kobo. And you do that of $10 multiplied by your ownership percentage. You get 0.0 in 6 places, 125 cents. And somebody is already signed. I wasn't expecting this. What will I do with this now? This is not When you say a global business, I was thinking it's something massive. You're expecting maybe to see $1. You're expecting to see 1,000 naira. No. Sir, when we say SWIFTtrip is going to make you a virgin trillionaire in dollars, it is this cent and this kobo that can make you that. It is this cent and this kobo that will make you that. You should never joke with a business that has to do with what? Percentage. Don't joke with any business that has to do with percentage. Just like we know little drop of water makes what? A mighty ocean. Just like Ambassador Chukwemeka said the other time, that when, I think, once it's raining, you begin to hear the sound. When it started at the initial, it will drop on the roof. Tim, 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 tim. You see the way it drops like that. By the time, just give it time. By the time the pressure is much, you will see that little drop of that raindrop on the zinc. Go check outside, you will see it's that raindrop that causes flood. Flood that can uproot whatever. So it is that little drop of water or cent and kobo that will yield something massive for us. A case study, Obasanjo, who is a co-owner of telecommunication, MTN, as we all know, he earns according to his percentage from every transaction you and I perform. Either we recharge our phone, 1,000, 2,000, 100 naira, 500 naira, as the case may be, whether we subscribe data, it does not matter how much. It simply ends according to his percentage. And Google has it, it makes 45 million naira every day, at least every day, for a business that is not global. MTN is not a global business. It's just an African business, and everybody is not making use of MTN. But look at what is turning over. How much more a global business, a business that will operate globally in all parts of the world, and you think you won't be a virgin trillionaire? Even if you don't become a virgin trillionaire, hello, your children will become that. Your generation must become that. It's as simple as that. Without further ado, let's look at how cent and kobo can make us those virgin trillions we are talking about in dollars. Where we could be in 5 years. Where we could be in 5 years. The truth is, 5 years, where SWIFTtrip has launched business and it has been in operation, transactions happening in Nigeria, in China, Cameroon, Dubai, Italy, France, Tanzania, Kenya, name it, all parts of the world. Transaction happening left, right, and center. We want to work with a worst case scenario. That business did not go as planned. Of course, when we are calculating something like this, we need to work with the worst case scenario. We are saying this worst case scenario. Let's look at 50 trillion trade performed. 50 trillion trade performed. If we accumulate all the transactions, the e-taxi, okay, all the trips performed, we are looking at 50 trillion trade. Hello, sir, you think it's not possible? Please, whatever year you think it will take SWIFTtrip to perform 50 trillion trip, that is convenient, whatever year that is convenient for you, that you think it's possible for SWIFTtrip to perform 50 trillion, please use that year. Do you think it's possible in 10 years, 50 years, 20 years, 30, 40, 50 years? Whatever year is convenient, please, sir, use that year. But we are saying the worst case scenario is 5 years for us to perform 50 trillion. And what are we looking at for best case scenario? 3 years. Well, let's not talk about the best case scenario. Let's look at the worst case scenario. And now, 50 trillion trips, we are then saying that this 50 trillion trip cost 8,000 naira or $10. Is it possible? It's never possible. All the trip cannot cost $10 or 8,000 naira. They cannot tell me all the trips that happen in America, all the trips that happen in UK, in China, Cameroon, India, Ghana, Nigeria, all cost 8,000 naira or $10. No. But because we are calculating, let us stick to this figure. 8,000 and 10,000 naira. Sorry, 8,000 naira and $10. Remember, this was the same figure we used for per trip profit analysis that gave us 0.0 in 6 places, 125 cents, or 0.0 in 3 places, 1 kobo. That somebody is already signed, say, what's this? What do I do with this? Now, sir, look at how that cent and kobo can become billions, millions of dollars. Multiply per trip profit in dollar and per trip profit in naira by 50 trillion trip. That is 0.0 in 6 places, 125 cents times 50 trillion trips. What will you get? $6.25 million. You do that of 0.0 in 3 places, 1 kobo, multiply by 50 trillion trip, you get what? 5 billion naira. You see the figures? That is the power of volume. That is the power of what? A global system. A system that do not need our effort. A system that is coming to pay us with or without our effort. A system that we can just sleep and earn. Look at this just from one service. So, and how many services do we have in SWIFTtrip? 5, and many more to join those services. But one is already giving us $6.25 million or 5 billion naira. How much would the other services yield for us? And you see this. You said you want somebody to talk you out. You said you want your brother, your mentor, your pastor to talk you out of this. Hello, if your pastor had the opportunity to sit here and listen to us, he or she will what? Venture into it. And if he or she does not venture into it, it does not perturb us, because he or she is not doing us any good. You being part of SWIFTtrip, don't think you're doing the company a favor. You're doing yourself and your lineage. You're not doing me good. You're not doing Honorable Richard good. You're doing yourself. Because by the time you start enjoying your harvest, you won't even remember the CEO. You won't remember me. You won't remember the person that even shared it with you. Why? Because you're enjoying your money. So you're not doing anybody good, but rather yourself and your lineage. Let us come together and build something massive. You can see the power of a system. It gives you the privilege to sleep and earn. And a business you came with $150 has yielded for you $5 billion or $6.25 million in the space of 5 years, worst case scenario analysis. That is why we say manpower or manual labor cannot take you far at all. So we've been able to show to you how you earn in the future. Now, please, let us come back to the present. Let us look at how you earn in the now. But first off, we say SWIFTtrip is going to make you a virgin trillionaire in dollars. And guess what? Whether you believe it or not, it's definitely going to make you that. If it does not make you that, it's going to make your children that. It's going to make your generation that. How do we earn in the now? How you earn in the now? Very simple. We say we have a corporate global challenge. A corporate global challenge, yes. And the speed to our global success depend on the speed at which we collectively solve our global challenge. So this is a collective effort. Just like the previous slide said, we have a corporate global challenge. So we have a collective global challenge. The speed to our success depend on the speed at which you and I collectively solve our global challenge. Now the question is, what is the challenge? What is the challenge? 2,400,000 node unit to be sold is the challenge. Where do we get this 2,400,000 units? That is the challenge. And we look at the next slide. It says, as a co-founder, Every single time you solve a unit of this challenge, you get paid. It simply means we are practicing already the PYC at this vision phase. We stand for what? Pay your co-founders. Should I call it PYCF? Pay your what? Co-founders. Every single time you solve a unit of this challenge, you get paid. Yes. We're not just telling you, okay, thank you, Mr. John, for that unit you solved. No. We are saying thank you with what? Credit alert. Thank you for that unit you've solved. Okay? Now, how do you solve this challenge? How do you solve this challenge? Very simple. We say become an active campaigner, sell units of SWIFTtrip ownership, and earn big from SWIFTtrip campaign pool fund. Yeah. Earn big from SWIFTtrip campaign pool fund. And what's the pool fund? You can see the pool fund on the screen. $238,867,800. That is what is available for you and I to earn now that this business is yet to launch. Now that we are at the campaign phase, we are at the vision phase. This is what is available for you and I. And how did we get this 238,867,800? It's very simple. Hint, as you can see below, $100 multiplied by unsold unit of SWIFTtrip. Remember I told you from the $250 you're paying, $150 is the project fee, then $100 is for advertisement or awareness fee. That is the $100 multiplied by unsold units, the unit that are yet to be sold in SWIFTtrip. Okay, so we say SWIFTtrip campaign pays. We'll show you how that $100 is being shared. Okay, how you earn as a campaigner from SWIFTtrip campaign sponsorship pool fund. In SWIFTtrip, you have the privilege to earn up to your fourth generation, first, second, third, and fourth generation. For instance, I told Mr. A about SWIFTtrip. Mr. A registers. Mr. A is my first generation. If Mr. A tells Mr. B about SWIFTtrip and Mr. B registers, then Mr. B is my second generation. Mr. C is my third generation. Mr. D is my fourth generation. Now, I told Mr. A about SWIFTtrip, and he loves the idea, and he pays $250 to the company's account. From that registration made, or from that payment made, I earn $70 advertisement fee from him. Why? Because it's my direct success line. And if he goes out and talks to other people about SWIFTtrip and he sees someone that is interested, him himself will earn $70, while I will earn $15. Why? Because that person is my second generation. It simply means from every of my second generation, I will be earning what? $15 from something I did not do. Every of my third generation, I'll be earning what? $10. Every of my fourth generation, I'll be earning $5. Now, do the addition. 70 plus 15, 85. 85 plus 10, 95. 95 plus $5, that is $100. You can see how this $100 has been shared. That is how it's been shared. And is that all? No. We say extra campaign cash awards still await you in SWIFTtrip, where you're considered the SWIFTtrip runner if you are able to identify or introduce or register 50 persons directly under you. Remember, from these persons, you've earned $70 each from them. Then the company still calls you and say, Mr. Orinami, here is this $50. Say, thank you for all you do for SWIFTtrip. We really appreciate you. We appreciate you. And I'll be happy. Whoa. And I put in more effort and I talked to more persons. I was able to register 51, 52, 100, 200, 300, 400, and 500. The company calls me again. Said, Mr. Orinami, you've been identified as SWIFTtrip icon. Here is this $1,000. Amazing. We say thank you for everything you do for SWIFTtrip. And I'm excited. I go ahead, I talk to more persons, and I'm able to register 5,000 persons directly under me before the launch of SWIFTtrip. The company says, Mr. Orinami, you are now the face of SWIFTtrip. Here is this $10,000 to say thank you for all you do for SWIFTtrip. Amazing. Now, you can see for yourself that if you are serious with this campaign, this vision phase that we are, that there are a whole lot available for you to earn from. All you just need to do is to be consistent in your campaign. Don't give up. And together, we will do great things. Do not miss SWIFTtrip Profit Share offer for any reason. Do not miss SWIFTtrip co-ownership for any reason. And please do not let anybody talk you out. Even while you are campaigning about SWIFTtrip, don't let anybody talk you out of it. Stand your ground. Don't let their discouragement get to you. Because for those of us that are campaigning out there, you will hear words of discouragement, but then your positivity should be strong enough to what? Fight that negativity of theirs. Stand your ground. Make that bold decision that yes, if it fails, it fails. If it succeeds, it will succeed. Stand that ground. But do you know that if you have identified the SWIFTtrip, you're already set for what? Massive success. Because SWIFTtrip cannot fail. It can't. That is why I keep saying congratulations to everyone who has identified themselves with SWIFTtrip. Alright, so this next slide says, subscribe now, make your payment of $250 to SWIFTtrip Technologies Ltd FCMB 200460738 and we say do not make your payment to someone else's account. You met the person on WhatsApp, you met the person on Facebook, and the person said, oh, you told the person you want to register, and the person said, okay, yes, go ahead and register and make your payment to my account, like personal account, and I will get you registered. Why? Because I'm an admin in the WhatsApp group, or I'm a co-founder of SWIFTtrip. Please run from those people. A co-founder of SWIFTtrip will not tell you to make payments to his own account, but rather he or she will tell you to make a payment to the company's account, which is SWIFTtrip Technologies Ltd FCMB 200460738 and you want to make your payment via USDT, please, you can get the wallet addresses on the company's website, which is www.seedinvest.swifttripcampaign.com. There you will see the TRC20, the BEP, and also the BTC wallet address. And all you just need to do is to click the box in front of it, and then it is copied. Okay. Now, by the time you're done making your payment, what's the next thing to do? Because SWIFTtrip, we don't go about sharing invite link. You can't register yourself, okay? You must pass through your sponsor. And who is your sponsor? Your sponsor is the person that told you about SWIFTtrip, the person that shared the idea to you, the person that sent you the link to join the meeting, the person that you viewed it first on his or her status. That person is your sponsor. So send your proof of payment to your sponsor, which is very important, alongside with your name, your full name. No nickname, please. Your full name, your email, and your phone number. These are the details that is required of you for what? Your registration. Then your sponsor will connect with the hub admin of SWIFTtrip. We have what we call hub admin. These are ambassadors of SWIFTtrip that are representing us in different states and country. Okay, so if your state as a hub admin, your sponsor will then connect with the hub admin, and node ID will be given to you for your registration. And if there's no hub admin in your state or country, all you just have to do is to connect with the company's admin. You can see the company's admin contact on the screen, 080-366-95332. That's the international admin's contact. Then your registration will be activated, or your node ID will be your registration will be what? Activated. So that is that. And if we look at the next slide, this is a call to everyone in Rivers State for them to join us live on Saturday by 12 to 2 p.m. 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. every Saturday. So invite your friends, invite your colleagues, invite your prospects for them to join us on Saturday. Okay, all you just need to do is book your seat and their seat. And how do you do that? By sending your name to this number on the screen, 090-3944-9537. Send your name. If you're coming with someone, send the name of that person you're coming with as well. And then their seat and their ticket will be sent to you on WhatsApp. Their ticket will be sent to you on WhatsApp and their seat will be booked. Invite friends and earn advert cash bonuses. SWIFTtrip campaigns is still on, and you shouldn't miss out on this amazing business. Thank you very much, and I believe you enjoyed the presentation of today. We've been able to awaken our spirit man. We've been able to once again picture into the future. We've been able to picture into the future, and we are so excited of everything that awaits us in the future. And like we say, together we will do great things. Thank you once again. I want to say a very big thank you to everyone who has stayed to the end of this presentation. And we are entering